Welcome back to Village in Motion this Friday, October the 18th. I'm Clint Lambert. It's my pleasure for this segment of the show to have Elena Keydel with us here in the studio. And
good to be here.
Elena is a social worker, and she's responsible for CB3?
CB3, yep.
All
so
right.
the apartment buildings with Hunters Crossing.
All right.
Oak Hill, Crestwood Court, Canterbury Square, and then we divided up Maple Creek, so I have the third floor of Maple Creek.
All right,
so,
okie
yeah.
dokie. Well, very good. And you've been with us now as a social worker for
about 3 years.
3
So I
years.
did my internship with school here, and it was great. I left on a Friday as an intern and came on Monday as an employee. I was able to get hired straight out of school. So
which is wonderful.
Really wonderful experience, and
Great.
it's a great place. I love
Good.
working here.
And you see people who are having emotional issues, behavioral problems. What else do you do?
So a whole range. I mean, as you said, folks who are having trouble with transitioning, so whether that's a behavioral issue or emotional issue, but also, somebody who maybe had a medical incident and just needs a little bit of help for a short time, helping set them up with resources and services, making sure residents and families know what resources are here at the community, and making sure they're in contact and have what they need at all stages of their life here. So.
All right, very good.
Yeah.
Do you also have a grief group? I mean, or grief counseling?
So the social work team isn't running a grief group right now. We tried, and honestly didn't get that much participation.
Okay.
I know Pastoral Ministries has one,
Okay.
and the social workers are always happy to meet with residents one-on-one if they're grieving. There's also mental health services through the medical center,
Right.
Kathleen Taylor. I personally have certainly talked to my residents who are grieving, and after a death, we do try and check in, follow up with the family, with the resident, and just make sure that they're doing okay, and if there's anything they need. So if you are grieving, please reach out to your social worker, and if we're not the ones to help you, we'll definitely find the resource that you need, because we want to make sure you're getting that help.
Good. But you're also working with people who need to strengthen their minds, right?
Absolutely, yeah. And actually, that's very appropriate this month. So we have the Embrace Wellness series through all the Erickson communities. And this month happens to be intellectual wellness. So I got to thinking about all the different resources here at Green Spring for intellectual wellness. And, that's not just, we tend to think of intellect as classes and schooling and, one's head in a book kind of thing. But that really is just using your brain and stimulation and involvement. And so that can be music, it can be art, it can be dancing, it can be the history forums, the religious forums, the trips downtown. There's a whole range of things. Actually, yesterday I looked on the Hunters Crossing bulletin board there, and just a very quick glance, I came up with at least 10 things going on right now that could be considered intellectual stimulation. And that wasn't looking very hard, to be honest. And then there's a lot of resources outside of Green Spring that are very accessible, whether it's the lifelong learning at George Mason, where older adults can take classes for, if not free, a very reduced fee.
Right, very reduced, yes.
Okay, that's a great resource. The Great Courses catalog is, I don't know if you're familiar with that. Okay, but for residents that aren't, that's CDs, DVDs, digital downloads, whatever your medium, and that is everything you could possibly want to know, from cooking to history to science to astrophysics to math to, I look through the catalog and just go, oh, this is very dangerous. I need to just put this aside, because I could very easily spend my entire paycheck on that.
But the thing that's nice about it is those of us who are retired, as most of us here living here at Green Spring are retired, to do something we've never done. We've always had a curiosity about, or to learn something we don't know how to do.
Exactly. And I know the Great Courses at least are, those are like 30-minute sessions. So very approachable, and they're not super advanced. So if it's an area you've always had an interest in but really aren't knowledgeable in, it's not like you'll be completely lost, with it, which is great. And certainly the lifelong learning classes at George Mason, I would imagine, are the same way. Really want to make it accessible for residents to keep using their brain.
Right. Well, when you talk about that, and one of the things I think is really great are people coming here to Channel 6 and working on the cameras.
Absolutely.
I don't know how many people realize, but Channel 6 basically is run by residents. we have 3 staff members.
And everything else is volunteers and residents, yeah. Right. And I think that's one great thing about Green Spring also is there's so many opportunities, whether it's volunteering at Channel 6 or working in the wood shop or helping out with the play, or you have this great opportunity to do things that you've never tried before, which is a great way to keep your brain stimulated and learn new things and meet new people, which then helps with the socialization aspect of keeping your brain strong. And it's a win-win-win situation. Yes. It's great. Right. Yeah. So,
are there particular games or programs that would help you to strengthen your mind?
So there is, the social work team runs once a month. We have a Mind Benders group that meets the first Tuesday of every month in Hunters Crossing Cards area, which is right where the piano is for residents who aren't as familiar. If you come at 1 o'clock on the first Tuesday, you'll see us. It's a big group. And we just do fun brain puzzles, very low key, no pressure. Nobody's going to call on you for the answer or anything like that. And then actually starting next Thursday, the 24th, we'll be having Brain Train for the next 4 weeks. So the 24th, the 31st, then I think the 7th and the 14th. Okay. And Brain Train is a collaboration between the social work team and the fitness center. So it's a mix of mind puzzles, much like Mind Benders, but then also physical exercise, because studies have shown that if you do brain puzzles and physical exercise kind of back to back, it helps stimulate both aspects. Right. So this is a great program. So it is Thursday at 1 o'clock in the Akatank Room. Now, given the recent flooding down in the Akatank Room, we are still planning to have it on Thursday, but do keep an eye out just in case of cancellations.
But which group is this going to be on Tuesday?
Tuesday is Mind Benders.
Mind Benders, okay.
Thursday for the next 4 weeks is Brain Train. Okay. And there are posters up on the bulletin boards in all 3 buildings, in all 3 clubhouses.
Very good. Yeah. And so what do we need to do in order to participate?
You just show up. No need to sign up. If you can come for one session but not others, that's totally fine. We just want as many residents as can come with Brain Train for, our second session is Halloween. There may or may not be a Halloween theme going on. But it's a lot of fun and a great way to meet new residents and, work your brain and your body.
All right, very good, very good. Well, we greatly appreciate you coming and sharing about training our brain and get on the brain train, right?
Absolutely, yep.
Okay, very good. And if anybody has a problem, they can always contact the social worker, right?
Absolutely. So as you said, I'm the social worker for CB3 Hunters Crossing. Sue Frankie is in Village Square, and Stephanie Reinheimer is in Town Center. So if you have any issues or concerns or questions, seek us out. We're here to help.
Thanks. Thanks, Elena.